Hello there and welcome, and I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. This is FiveRoundMMA. My name is Alex Ramirez, alongside Albert Cita and Guillermo Cita. Today we got a little bit of review, a little bit of preview, all this good stuff in between, but no leftovers though, right?
No, we ate them all.
I want to ask you one question. How did you eat your Thanksgiving dinner, Albert? Were you more taking the like you say, the Hector Lombard approach, just shoved it all in your mouth? Or were you more like Warren McDonald, enjoying your food? Or play with your food?
I had two Thanksgivings, so I kind of went both routes. Yeah. I busted the Hector Lombard at first, and then when I got to my second Thanksgiving, I approached it like Warren McDonald.
Played with your food a little bit.
Yeah.
Did you have your dessert first?
No. I had no dessert.
What about you, Gabriel? How's your Thanksgiving?
I went more the Hector Lombard. I just put everything in my plate all at once. Then I came back to dessert. I don't have dessert first. Doesn't make sense.
All right. Speaking of a lot on our plate, we got a lot on this show. I just want to start with the Ultimate Tough Night. What is it? Ultimate Fighter finale. 18 was
season 18
was Saturday. Did it go the way? I didn't see the show, so I don't know. Did it go the way it was supposed to go?
I saw the last three fights pretty much. Other than that, I didn't watch the tough
well,
finale.
it was kind of anticlimactic if you ask me, because that David Grant, he made it because some guy didn't make weight.
Yeah.
So he automatically advanced to the finals. So it's kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
So you're there by default. The girl fight, I really wanted to get excited, but if you look at Jessica's record, she was a boxer turned into a mixed martial artist, and her record was like 2-3. Oh, wow. So it was kind of like, and she's primarily a boxer. So the whole time, like, well, Julia Pena should just take her down, and should be, and that's exactly what she did. Yeah. So it was hard to get excited over those two fights. One, because like I told you, it seemed like Juliana should easily win it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the other girl had 2-3 record, and she's primarily a boxer.
Yeah.
And in the guys fight, it's kind of hard. Even though both guys are talented, it's hard to get punked over a guy that just made it because of DQ. You know.
Yeah. I want to go back to Chris Hollingsworth, the winner of the male tournament. He thanked his camp, Alpha Male, and he had a Bang Muay Thai T-shirt. I told you, is this like the old? I think it's the best year for any camp ever, right?
Yeah, I know we haven't done our New Year special, but I think we can already declare that the Alpha Males
Coach of the Year, Camp of the Year,
the camp and the Coach of the Year. I mean, if you look at the record, they could only have like 2 losses in 2013.
Yeah, I think they have 2 more fights coming up, right? I think
Joseph Benavidez.
And they still have time to put more icing on that cake, because they can walk away with another champion.
Yeah.
And easily keep that ball rolling.
Yeah, Guillermo, let me ask you. I know out of the 3 of us, you have the more higher level athletic experience,
or the only.
Yeah. What's it like being part of a team where a whole team buys into the coach's philosophy like that? Does it make the whole team better? What are practices like? Because obviously it's what happened with the Bang Muay Thai.
He's a Phil Jackson of MMA right now.
They bought into his philosophy and they all work together.
Well, usually when everything's clicking, I mean, there's no problems at the gym. I wouldn't be. I've never been in the gym, but in the locker room, there's no problems. Everybody's getting along. Yeah. You go to practice, you work hard. There's no really disputes between players. Yeah. Everybody's listening into the coach, because obviously what he's doing is correct. Yeah. So everybody's buying into whatever he's saying. When it's the opposite, and you're losing. Everybody starts like, oh man, the coach making us do this drill again. It's not working, obviously, if we're losing. And then that's when the bickering starts between teammates, and in the locker room, people not getting along. And then when people are winning, all those problems just go away.
They say winning is contagious, right?
Yeah, winning is contagious.
And in true alpha male fashion, Chris is still undefeated.
Wow, that's insane.
And so, and to tell you the truth, we don't really know if he's going to stay in bantamweight, or is he one of those fighters that he just picked bantamweight because he knew he was comfortable cutting weight to that class, or if he's a flyweight. So we still don't know that. Yeah. But he's undefeated, is with one of the best camps. So I think that was a huge win by Chris, and I think he's probably going to be in the UFC for a while.
Yeah, like you said, another trophy to add on Bang Legwood's mantle.
Yeah.
And then not to take away real quick from the women's one. Yeah. Juliana was a beast.
Yeah. She was a favorite, like you said.
Yeah, she was fair to win. I mean, she easily took him down and ground and pound her face in.
Yeah.
So Juliana, she did bring it, and I see her getting in the mix, because the women's division is actually getting pretty interesting now that we don't have one person overruling every other than Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
Well, we seen Miesha Tate lose. We already saw Liz Carmouche lose. So it's kind of a good mix up right now.
Yeah. I have a question for Albert, since Albert was like really into the Ultimate Fighter finale. How'd you see the coaching?
Well,
did the coaching take
Miesha Tate did sweep it. Those are both her fighters that won, right?
Yeah. So. Miesha Tate pretty much swept the whole thing, and I think she did pick the better fighters.
Yeah.
And I think Miesha Tate was better as a coach, because I think Ronda Rousey let her emotions get in the way of everything. Like, she was so emotional if they lost and that they didn't make weight, and I think that had a lot to do with her coaching ability. I mean, it's still crying. Maybe try coaching, but like he said, Chris had the alpha male. I mean, Ludwig was in his corner.
They already had a good foundation already going into it, huh?
So
can you grade him?
Who?
Give a final grade to
Chris?
No, to Miesha Tate and
Miesha Tate and coaching. I put from a scale from I would say Chael Sonnen.
What does that mean?
Tito Ortiz.
Tito Ortiz.
Tito Ortiz is a good coach. So
that's what I'm saying.
Let's say Ken Shamrock.
Or Rampage.
Yeah,
Rampage.
Let's do from Rampage
to
Chael Sonnen. Miesha Tate was Chael Sonnen, and Ronda Rousey was Rampage.
Also, one thing I want to point out too is a little trivia here, but Juliana Pena is Venezuelan, and she's the first ever tough winner of Hispanic origin, and also the very first male tough winner, Diego Sanchez, of also Hispanic origin, Mexican.
So see, that's a perfect way to start.
Yep. So I want to go jump to the main event. I know Albert's really looking forward to Nate Diaz versus Gray Maynard. This was a fight that even Nate Diaz wanted to take part in.
I think this is the only time I was actually cheering for a Stockton slap.
That's exactly what happened. I mean, Nate Diaz came out like always confident. I mean, he has great skills. As already so confident, and he really looked like maybe he didn't want to take this fight because he knew he was going to win easily. You think that's what it was? Because that's what happened, though. I mean, it wasn't even a fight.
I think he approaches a fight like that every single time because he acts like he can win every fight.
But I'm saying what I saw wasn't even a challenge for him.
The first minute, Greg Maynard came out the cages like I want this really bad, and maybe he knew that maybe his chin is not 100.
And that's I think that is a sad part. I think Greg Maynard lacks talent. I mean, he has a questionable chin ever since Frankie Edgar knocked him out.
Yeah.
If you go and look at that Clay Guida fight, if people go back and watch that fight, and when he puts his hands down and he threatens Clay Guida to punch him, Clay Guida actually rocks him, and that's why he puts his hands back up and actually exchanges, because he actually got rocked. So, and TJ Grant get him a vicious knockout. I mean, the guy has a questionable chin now.
Yeah, you never question his talent because it's there. His wrestling's there. He's the big. You can hear Kenny Florian. He's a gorilla out there.
He threw around Diaz for the first minute. He threw him around. I mean, just until he got.
So what? I mean, he was he had the nickname. They didn't call him that on Saturday. The bully for being able to throw people wherever they want. But his last few fights, he hasn't been doing that. He's been trying to stand up and train with people.
He's trying, but I mean,
but stick to what got you to the show, right?
He did, and he was rocked, but he had plenty of opportunities to try to recover or try to go for that takedown. I don't know why he didn't. He was more worried about trying to recover than just shooting in or taking a swing at him. But I really think Greg Maynard only has one choice at this point, and that's what like Guillermo was we were talking earlier. It's to drop down to 145, and if he loses, it's pretty much I think.
Well, I want to ask you guys this question too. I know we were talking about this earlier before we started filming, but would Nate Diaz and both Grant Maynard, because both of them are kind of shaky, even though they're both ranked in the top 10 of the lightweight division.
Yeah.
But they kind of really on a roll. Would both these guys kind of benefit for maybe like a 165-pound division or 160-pound division?
They would, just because it gives them more options. Now it's either 155 or 170.
That's like a 20-pound gap.
Yeah, it's a big gap. So I know Nate Diaz was talking about moving up. I highly doubt that Gray Maynard can go up to 170. So the only option is 145.
Well, two things. When the last time Diaz went up, Roy McDonald threw him around like a rag doll. Like a rag doll. Yeah,
because he's like super skinny at 155.
Yeah, so. And I think Diego Sanchez said it best, because he even says that he wished there was like a 160 because he finds it tough to cut to 155, but he finds himself small for 170. I mean, these guys are coming from 180, 190.
And especially because they're veterans of the sport, I think it gets harder as you get older to make that weight cut. So I mean, like it would be perfect to be right in the middle where they can still work out. I don't want to talk trash, but I mean, like Shogun Rua, I mean, does it look like he works out?
No.
Or to cut weight? No, he probably fight.
He probably walks around, I think, like that. Huh?
Yeah, he probably walks around close to 205. it's a easy weight cut for him, and then you can still fight. Why do you think there's an article that came out that saying Shogun doesn't want to drop down to 170?
Yeah,
because
or 185 or
185. I'm sorry.
And he looks like he can easily drop to 185.
But it's just too much work.
You got to change your eating habits. Got to run more. But I know. Yeah, obviously, setback for Gray Maynard. Obviously, right step in the direction for Nate Diaz, who suffered a KO loss to Josh Thompson. I mean, it looks like the stock.
Well, Nate Diaz still has some potential to move up.
Yeah.
I mean, his losses were against Josh Thompson and then against Benson Henderson.
I think with Nate Diaz is because we literally seen his career from the beginning of the UFC.
Yeah.
So whenever we see him lose, he's done right. But this guy's been fighting his whole career in the UFC.
Yeah.
Like some guys come into the UFC with his record he has now.
Yeah.
And we think, they're going 3 in a row. This guy's good, but this guy's we've seen his progression of from the beginning now.
I think what makes
a true like maturation process, So
I think what makes the most sense is if they were to match him up against Diego Sanchez.
Yeah, I think that fight's inevitable.
Yeah, because both guys are pretty much in this like gray area in the lightweight division, and I think this will probably clear their paths better. Because if Diego wins, clearly he deserves to fight a top 3 guy for maybe first contender. If Nate wins, he deserves another crack at the title.
Diego had Gilbert Melendez, who was ranked number 2?
What, number 1 or 2?
Number 1 or 2 in UFC.
The UFC has it. The one contender, no more contender, right?
And Diego wasn't even ranked. So I mean, obviously they see something in Diego that he still has the ability to perform at 155.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we got a lot more to talk about, right?
Yep. So stick around, guys.
Please visit FiveRoundMMA.com on our social media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. FiveRoundMMA.com.
All right, welcome back. UFC Fight Night. Hunt versus Bigfoot is going to take place this Saturday, and I hope Queensland, Australia is ready for 2 kaijus going to meet up and meet. Maybe a Jaeger and a kaiju, the Bigfoot versus the Super Samoan. Mark Hunt versus a Bigfoot Antonio Silva, a heavyweight bout of epic proportions, I think, right?
Yeah, and if I remember the movie correctly, Australia had the better Jaeger.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what you guys are talking about.
But Pacific Rim?
No, but spoiler alert. Thanks, guys. I wanted to watch it.
We didn't ruin anything. If anything, we made more hype for it.
Now, I wouldn't say this card has the stackness, but it has what I call
some familiar names, right?
Yeah, the what's it called?
He says it's stacked just because he's a Mark Hunt fan.
Yeah,
well, aren't you a Ryan Bader fan too?
I was just because of his nickname. I mean, Ryan Darth Bader.
Yeah.
Let's go. Come on, guys.
Yeah, this guy's a big Star Wars fan.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So we got Shogun versus James Kahuna, Ryan Bader versus Anthony Parash, Pat Barry, your boy, versus the Hulk. Who else is on this? Bruce Leroy's on it.
Bruce Leroy's on it. I do want to talk about that real quick because finally Bruce Leroy gets a non-Facebook fight.
Yeah,
the guy was fighting Facebook for at least like 6 fights or whatever. He is on a winning streak. He's on a 3-fight winning streak. His last loss was to Edwin Ferreira, which was split decision, but that was the one where he kicked him below the bell and he lost a point. So technically, he's on a tear. He's on a roll. I think.
What's your definition of a tear?
A tear is
2 wins in a row.
It's 3 wins and above.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Just so I know for future reference, because you always say someone's on a tear. And
throwing that word around.
No. 3 wins and above, you're on a tear.
Okay.
I want to jump to the Pat Barry fight real quick. Pat Barry's 8-6 overall.
Yeah.
I mean, is this guy? I know he's a great interview, great with the fans, entertaining. If he wins, he's entertaining. But is this really his 8-6 record really worthy of a UFC spot? I mean, they're so like. Well, I mean, remember when Machida lost 2 in a row? Oh, he might lose now. He might get cut. But she's a world-class fighter. No disrespect to Pat Barry, but it's a different level.
I don't know
fighter,
if I told Guillermo or I told Ollie the trolley over there, but I found it very weird that 2 guys that have wins over Pat Barry are in Bellator, and yet Pat Barry still has a job in UFC. Which
Cheick Kongo?
Cheick Kongo and the Johnson guy that lost in their heavyweight tournament.
Sean Jordan?
No, is it Sean?
LeVar Johnson.
LeVar Johnson.
Yeah.
Both of them have wins over Pat Barry, but yet they were easily cut and sent to Bellator.
Yeah.
So to me, that's very interesting. But he's against a very tough opponent. I will not pronounce his name because I do not want to disrespect this man. So I will just refer to him as the Hulk.
Yeah.
Hulk. Yeah. If I just said Bruce Leroy is on a tear, this guy is on a rampage. Because this guy's ridiculously. He has won 8 fights in a row.
So
and if you look, you're gonna see KO, 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 TKO, TKO, KO.
You don't get a nickname like the Hulk without KOs.
The guy is literally smashing and bashing.
Yeah. So is this more like?
I think this is more for the Hulk than it is for Pat Barry. I think this is if Pat Barry gets knocked out. I think he might get a UFC job because I think Dana White likes Pat Barry.
I think so.
But
I think that's why he's still in
going
the
back
company.
to Pat Barry, his record, he's never won 2 fights in a row in the UFC.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's been win, loss, loss, loss. Win.
Yeah, exactly.
I will say this.
I mean, I'm not saying, but like, I mean, like, it's come. I mean, like, if you're to keep it consistent, keep it consistent. I mean, you're cutting guys like John Finch, who's look at his record, how many win streak. Boy, he's a boring fighter. So, I mean, I don't know. It's just like.
It's not about the fighting. It's about the money.
But I mean, aren't there other heavyweights who can knock out people? I mean, I don't know.
Well, I think
I like Pat Barry too, but I
think Pat Barry's name is more relevant, so that's probably why.
Yeah.
That he keeps him around. It's like, he's fighting Pat Barry, so he's fighting a really good fighter, and I think that's why.
I think it's a smart matchup, just because one, if the Hulk wins,
it makes him more legit.
It makes him more legit and puts him up there with the other heavyweights. But if for some reason Pat Barry wins, he kind of steals his wins. You get me? Like, if he beats the Hawk, he kind of stole all those 8 wins that he just went into.
Are we playing marbles now?
Kind of, and it kind of
fighters
keeps
always say that, but yeah, I know
it justifies why he's still in the UFC.
Yeah, it's like almost like what? It's almost like people say stealing wins, like college football, right?
Yeah.
Signature win. Right?
Oh yeah.
Like didn't Auburn just steal Alabama's wins?
Supposedly.
No.
That's a little blow.
But I guess it is
an Alabama fan.
No, I hate Bama, but all the little kids were crying. If you saw the
why they crying? It's
game.
college football.
I don't follow college football. Didn't UCLA beat USC this past Saturday?
Yeah, that too.
UCLA killed USC, didn't they?
Yeah,
like 34 or something. But I think the Hulk, this could be his signature win. I think before this, he did beat Bob Sapp in 12 seconds. So might be another step of competition. But going back to the main card,
Ryan Bader.
You want to talk about Ryan Bader? I mean, this guy's been kind of
just real quick.
You really want to talk about Ryan Bader?
Well, he's the Pat Barry of the light heavyweight division.
Wow.
Is that an insult or?
I take that back. He had 2. He beat Jason Britz and Quinn Jackson back to back.
Yeah.
So he had a couple of wins between the losses.
But he did lose a Glover to Share.
He lost to Glover to Share, but before that he won against the Janitor.
Yeah.
Who could be the next heavyweight champion in Bellator? So watch out, Czech Congo. The Janitor's in there.
So I mean, let's take it back with his theme to signature wins. Ryan Bader, his signature wins, what? Rampage?
Yeah.
But
Janitor?
I think they're continuing this formula of they give him someone that's not in the top 10, and then if he beats them, he's gonna get a top 10 opponent.
He's almost like Ryan Bader's like the Jake Ellenberger of the light heavyweight, right?
You mean Ryan Bader?
Yeah, Ryan Bader.
Yeah.
I mean, like Jake Ellenberger. You can beat guys outside the top 10, but once you give him a top 10
Oh
opponent,
yeah. He kind of folds under the pressure. But
I
wouldn't say fold under the pressure.
I've never been a big fan of Ryan Bader.
Yeah,
he's a difficult. He has good wrestling. He has heavy hands, but it's just something's not there.
It's not there.
Something's missing from. But
yeah.
Either way, Ryan Bader looks again back into top 10 position, I should say. And of course we got Shogun Hua fighting again. I don't know if I'm excited or.
Well, Gary, you said that you read something about like people suggesting the Shogun that he's dropped down to 185.
Well, the thing is, at light heavyweight with John Bone Jones being up there, he really has no one to really compete besides Alexander Gustafsson.
Yeah.
Other than that, and Glover Teixeira, who else poses a threat to John Bone Jones? Honestly. Be honest.
Yeah, well, also...
Does Shogun pose a threat?
No.
But to your point, too, Shogun lost to Chael Sonnen, a fighter who said recently, I don't even belong in the light heavyweight division. And he lost to him, like, pretty easily. So, I mean, like...
Yeah, but to me, it seemed more of a fluke.
The last 4 fights, he lost 3.
Yeah.
And the one win coming from Brandon Vera.
Well, my thing is, though, is as long as John Bone Jones stays champion...
he doesn't belong in the division.
Fighters like Rashad Evans, fighters like Shogun Rua, fighters like Lyoto Machida, whether you guys admit it or not.
He dropped.
Yeah, he has to drop. And Rashad Evans was asked the same question: are you going to drop? Because they don't see another fight with John Bone Jones happening because it was so one-sided towards John Bone Jones. So now the option to Shogun is, can you drop down? Because obviously you can't compete at heavyweight.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this, guys. Is it more a question of Shogun dropping down or just packing it in already? I mean, you said last show or a couple shows ago that Dan Harrison should retire. I mean, if you're saying Hendo should retire, the Shogun should be right behind him.
No, yeah.
So is it a question of just dropping down? Because
No.
this guy comes like
I think he knows the writings in the wall.
yeah. But how many times did we say, oh, that Shogun didn't show up tonight? Like, does
Yeah.
this guy ever want to be a fighter?
Yeah. How many times
Did Shogun ever want to be a fighter?
No,
I mean, because like,
yeah.
Shogun didn't want to. That wasn't the real Shogun who showed up tonight.
He's one of those like.
I've heard that like 1,000 times.
Yeah, he's one of those people that think it came too easy for him.
Yeah, it was
because he was the John Jones
He was
of
very dominant when he was young.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He was super young, so he was one of those guys. I think it came really easy to him, and then when stuff started getting hard.
So when it comes time to putting the work in,
he's like, I don't want,
And then that shows the example of why he wouldn't drop to. I mean,
yeah,
given his
No,
age, why
that's
he
a
wouldn't want to drop to 170. Maybe he doesn't want to put in the hard work.
Difference between someone like him and like Vitor Belfort, who Vitor
That's
again,
working hard,
it came easy to him, and he started at a young age, but he reached a point where no, now I got to work even harder
Yeah.
to stay relevant.
But then,
and he's willing to put in the work.
Vitor Belfort has TRT
Yeah.
to help out.
Yeah, but you still have to hit the gym.
Yeah,
You still have to wake up at 6 in the morning and hit the
That's actually a
gym.
great comparison between the two,
Yeah.
Vitor Belfort and Shogun. Guys, almost exact same career path. Who's working a little harder?
But this fight, I think I'm leaning towards Shogun Rua to come back and show that he still has potential in the light heavyweight division, even though he'll probably never get John Bon Jones ever again. Just because James Tahuna lost his money in Vegas, and thanks to Albert.
To Tahuna's credit, I mean, his two losses in the UFC are to Alexander Gustafsson and Glover Teixeira.
Two title contenders.
And he also lost.
Well, technically, he lost to the light heavyweight champion Alexander Gustafsson. and maybe future light heavyweight champion.
He also has a
Teixeira.
loss to Hector Lombard too.
Yeah.
So I mean, this guy.
I mean, like those losses are I mean.
Legitimate losses.
They're legitimate losses. I mean, who wouldn't lose to those guys?
He did like shock the world when he beat Ryan Jimmo. So.
Oh yeah, well he shocked me in Vegas. Well, technically he was favored to win.
Yeah.
And Ryan Jimmo was just a little bit the underdog. But
and we took James Tahuna over Ryan.
No, we took Ryan Jimbo over James Tahuna.
Oh, okay.
You guys lost that one.
Yeah.
No, but see, I don't care what Guillermo says. I was correct. I said Ryan Jimbo might rock him and finish him in the first round, but if he doesn't, James Tahuna's probably gonna win if they goes all 3 rounds. That's exactly what happened. First round, he knocks him down. It looks like he's gonna finish. He doesn't finish, and what happens? He gets tired out. James Tahuna does work.
Yeah. So now the main event. It's kind of sticking with my theme. With if I'm gonna beat up Pat Barry by his record, it's only fair that I beat up Mark Hunt for his record 9-8.
Whoa!
I knew it.
Whoa!
How's it any different from
Pat Barry?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
To Albert. If you're talking about records, and he makes a big deal about records.
Yeah.
Mark, tell us what was Mark Hunt's second fight
in all fairness,
in all MMA.
His second fight?
Yeah.
Was against Dan Bobla.
Okay, third fight.
Wanderlei Silva.
Thank you. Fourth fight.
Crow Cop.
Fifth fight.
Fifth fight, Japanese guy. But then he started. But then, okay.
Then Josh Thompson, Fedor Emelianenko.
In
Josh
a row.
Thompson.
Consecutive bouts. Josh Barnett. Then next, Fedor. Then next, Alistair Overeem. Then next, Melvin Manoff. Then after that, Gegard Mousasi.
See? So, I mean, it's not like the guy had like an easy fight.
Yeah.
And in all fairness, he did go on a 4-fight win streak in the UFC where Pat Barry hasn't even won 2 in a row.
Yeah,
in the
see?
UFC. So I guess,
I'm just saying.
Who'd he beat in that winning streak?
Chris Tushner, Ben Rothwell,
Okay.
Czech Congo, and Skyscraper.
See?
Okay.
See?
Skyscraper.
And technically, his only loss is to Junior Dos Santos and in his first fight in UFC.
Yeah, Sean McCorkey. But I just want to keep it fair. People, if I'm beating the records, but
No, I'm not going to keep it fair.
Well, I mean, Mark Hunt didn't get he got top 10. It wasn't top 10, and someone that no one knows, and then top 10 again.
Yeah.
The guy caught his first break at the age of 35? Come on, man.
After a long career of kickboxing, yeah. Try MMA.
And if we're gonna beat up Mark Hunt, why don't we just beat up Antonio Silva too right now?
I knew it.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
He has back-to-back losses before he went on his little mini 2-fight win streak. That is not a tear. He needed one more win.
Back-to-back losses to Daniel Cormier and Cain Velasquez.
Yeah, come on.
Top quality competition. Again,
but knocked out though.
Again, it's gonna go to we're going back to college football.
Who doesn't get TKO by Cain Velasquez?
Wins and what losses, right? Can you give credit to a program for losing to a top tier program if they hung in there with them? I mean, it's
what would you rank Alabama, Guillermo?
Alabama is still number one or number 2. Look at Ohio State. Ohio State lost to an unranked Michigan, and they were bashing Ohio State.
They should.
It's and just because it was close, it's all about who you're
technically,
playing.
Antonio Silva never lost in the rankings. He kind of stood where he was at.
Yeah.
Mark Hunt's the one that needs to keep clawing his way up.
I know.
Well, what do you think a win from Mark Hunt over Bigfoot? Because he lost to Junior Dos Santos.
Well, two things.
Okay. Go.
One, Mark Hunt wasn't 100% in that Junior Dos Santos fight.
I'll give you that staph infection.
So and he did pretty good. If you watch the first round before he got hit in the back of the head, yes, Junior Dos Santos, you hit in the back of the head.
And the other
5, 6 times,
kick,
8. But once you hit a guy in the back of the head 8 times, obviously he's going to soften up.
Okay,
that's ridiculous. First of all, Second of all, I think with this win against Bigfoot Silva, it gives him another crack at maybe another chance to be first contender. I don't know exactly who you get. Maybe over. Well, I don't. So
we talked about tiptoeing around Junior Dos Santos.
I think he can beat Travis Brownie.
You think so?
Yeah.
All right. So what about Bigfoot? I mean, he didn't lose any standing. He didn't lose any spots in the standings when he lost to Campbell.
And that's exactly what's going to happen when he gets knocked out by Mark Hunt.
Okay. What if
no, he's going to stay exactly where he's at.
Okay. What if he wins though?
Well, yeah.
Nah.
I mean, what if?
I don't like, it's like saying, let's talk about unicorns,
Well, you're talking about what if Mark Hunt wins?
It's cool to talk about them, but they don't exist.
I mean, obviously.
That win doesn't exist, Alex.
About with him and JDS wouldn't happen, right? Because don't they train together? Or
I think
they're under the Nogueira umbrella, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Antonio Silva's the type of guy who would fight JDS because he seems like he's hungry. He wants a championship.
Well, let's keep in mind we also have Josh Barnett over here in the corner too.
Yeah,
we still need to see what happens with Overeem and
Frank Mir.
And I'm pretty sure if Overeem wins, he wants another crack at Bigfoot Silva because he thinks that was a fluke as well.
Yeah,
you mean Overeem? If Overeem beats Frank Mir?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, if Overeem beats Frank Mir, I'm pretty sure he's gonna want Bigfoot.
But does Bigfoot want it?
It doesn't matter what he wants.
Well, we have Travis Browning against Josh Barnett. Going to be lined up. They're going to fight each other.
Yeah,
so.
That's another key thing that we have to wait for too.
Yeah. So basically, we have like a winner's bracket, and Josh Barnett and Travis Browning, and a loser's bracket with Frank Mir and also Overeem, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that's exactly how I have
this
it.
This guy could be like
right in the middle, Mark Hunt and Bigfoot.
And then they might meet in the middle, make a one contender.
Yeah, just because Cain Velasquez and Verdum. I don't know. They haven't announced it.
I think Cain Velasquez has a shoulder injury.
Yeah, they haven't announced it, so.
Yeah, they keep saying Mexico, but Cain Velasquez keeps saying no to that idea. So. I don't think he likes drinking the water down there.
I wouldn't. Take bottles of water.
Well, yeah, that takes place this Friday, Fight Night.
Oh, it's Friday?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a special edition.
Oh, there you go. So much I know.
And then next week we'll cover Joseph Benavidez and Demetrius Johnson, right?
The alpha male. See if the alpha male streak continues the second time. See if Benavidez has figured out the puzzle of Mind and Mouse because nobody else has. So
yeah.
But until then, make sure to follow us on Twitter at FiveRoundMMA. Subscribe to us on iTunes and YouTube. Like us on Facebook.
Instagram,
follow us on Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff. Also check out OvertimeDanSoden.com.
Subscribe to YouTube, please.
I think I said that earlier.
I'm just like to
reiterate. Is that echo in here, though? OvertimeDanSoden.com for the first page of articles, Overtime Sports, where we talk sports. And also check out FiveRoundMMA.com for exclusive content. The first place you get to see our webcast, web show, podcast, pod show, all that good stuff. I want to thank all of our sponsors. I want to thank Honey Badger Performance Energy Drinks. Go grab a scoop at drinkhoney.badger.com and get the most out of your workout. I know you want to work out that Thanksgiving dinner. Albert had 2 Thanksgiving dinners, so you got a lot of Honey Badger in you, right?
And they said the average person eats 10,000 calories in Thanksgiving, so I could have easily ate 20,000 calories.
Wow. Packing all the calories.
Wow.
I also want to thank the Madhouse clothing line, clothes for the fighter and fight fanatic. Go shop at madhouse.com and follow them on Twitter at the Madhouse MMA. And a big thank you to Top Rated MMA, makers of 100% American-made MMA apparel. Go shop topratedmma.com and follow them on Twitter at Top Rated MMA. Albert, take us away.
So thank your executive producer Guillermo Cita, our sound engineer Steven Roswell with Roswell Records. I think he's almost fully booked for Christmas, so get your
holiday music sessions.
Holiday music sessions.
Steven Roswell Records.
Yep. I'd like to thank our technician over there, Ollie Trolley. I'd like to thank everybody for listening. Hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving.
Cream of the crop.